My name is Michael Levy. I'm a co-director of the PASS program. The PASS program offers courses and resources for the PET module exams as well as for the CP. You're about to watch a video entitled Overview of Current CPA Program and Choosing a Path That's Right for Me. In this video, I'll first do a quick review of the current PET program. We'll then take a look at two pathways that are available under the current CPA education program to achieve your CPA, and then we'll try to discuss which program would be optimal to take. I hope you find this video helpful in gaining an understanding of the current educational system and the pathway that's best for you. Before we take a look at the two pathways you can take to achieve your CPA under the current education program, I'd like to give you a high-level bird's-eye view of the current CPA program, the program you may have heard of that we refer to as the PEP program. The PEP program begins with two core modules, Core 1 and Core 2. Each of these modules is about 8 weeks long. Core 1 focuses primarily on financial accounting. Core 2 focuses primarily on management accounting. At the end of each of these modules, you would write an exam. Once you've passed these two core modules, you would then move on to the elective modules. There are 4 electives from which you can choose: assurance, performance management, tax, and finance. However, if you want to get your public accountant's license, then you'd have to choose the 2 electives, assurance and tax. However, if you're not interested in your public accountant's license, then you can choose any 2 of these 4 electives, whichever one you think you're best at. Once you're done with the core modules and you've passed the exams, you've done your elective modules and you've passed the exams, you're now ready to move on to Capstone 1. In Capstone 1, you'll be working as part of a group and you'll be preparing a presentation for a mock board of directors, a written presentation. You'll also have to do an oral presentation, once again as part of a group, and answer questions from this mock board of directors or high-level executives. Again, this is a group project. Both the report as well as the oral presentation are done as part of a group. Almost everybody passes Capstone 1. The purpose of Capstone 1 is not to weed people out. You'd almost have to make an effort to fail Capstone 1. The next stage is Capstone 2. Capstone 2 is there specifically to help you. What you do in Capstone 2 is you write past CP cases and you have them professionally marked. And this helps a great deal in preparing for the CP. The final stage is to write the CP, the common final exam. And very briefly, the CP is a 3-day exam. On the first day, day 1, you're going to write a 4-hour case based on the same fictional company that you worked on in Capstone 1. The only thing is, this company is now facing new operational challenges, new strategic challenges. Day 1 is not intended to be a very technical day. It's testing high-level business skills, but is not intended to be as technical as the next 2 days. The next 2 days of the CP is 3 days in total, are as follows. Day 2, you're doing a big 5-hour case. It's referred to as the roll case, and the reason for that is that on day 2, you would actually choose a role from among the same 4 competencies we looked at for the electives. You'd either choose an assurance role, a performance management role, a tax role, or a finance role. If you want to get your public accountant's license, you choose the assurance role. Everybody will have to deal with requirements involving financial and management accounting. All of the other requirements that you will need to deal with will relate to your role. So if I've chosen the assurance role, I will deal with financial accounting, management accounting, and assurance. If the person sitting next to me chose the finance role, that individual will have to deal with the same financial accounting and management accounting requirements that I need to deal with, but instead of assurance, the remainder of the requirements they'll deal with will be finance related. The third day of the CP, instead of writing one big case, on day 1 you wrote one 4-hour case, on day 2 you wrote one big 5-hour case, Day 3, you'll be writing shorter cases ranging from 70 to 90 minutes. And the cases in total will add up to 240 minutes. On day 3, these shorter cases that are 70 to 90 minutes will test numerous competencies. There are 6 competencies in total: financial accounting, management accounting, strategy and governance, tax, assurance, and finance. On day 3, each case will test typically at least 4 of these competencies and perhaps as many as all 6. So you're going to be dealing with numerous competencies in addressing the requires. This effectively is a snapshot of the current program. I wanted to show that to you before we move on to the 2 pathways you can take to achieving your CPA. What I'd like to talk about now is paths to the CPA designation. Under the current system, there are 2 paths you can take. The most common path is to go through the PEP program, exactly the program we talked about earlier. I do my core modules, core 1 and core 2, then I do my elective modules, and I write my core exams, and I write my core exams at the end of each core module, my elective exams at the end of each elective, and then I move on to Capstone 1, Capstone 2, and then the CP. In order to participate in this path, you would need a 120 credit hour degree or equivalent and completion of specific subject area coverage, which is all delineated on the CPA Canada website. You would need a minimum grade requirement of 60% in each core course. And I've defined what core versus non-core is at the bottom of the slide. A minimum of 50% in each non-core course and a minimum average GPA of 65%. Remember, you may recall I said earlier that the fast track can take 2 modules at the time. You need 75%. Normally, it's 65%. I've defined core versus non-core. Core courses relate to each of the 6 competencies, except for intro courses. So even though financial reporting, for example, is one of the core competencies, if I bond my intro course, I don't have to worry about that. And again, the 6 core competencies are right here. So any of the courses relating to these 6 core competencies would be considered core courses. The non-core are general business courses like economics, statistics, law, IT. So this is one path that you can technically take. Another path is the accredited path. There is a path for students in CPA accredited programs that allows for some exemptions from CPA PEP prerequisites. There are numerous accredited programs across the country, and I've given you here a link, and if you go to that link, you can download a PDF that will give you a long list of all the different CPA accredited university programs, and it'll also tell you what it exempts you from. The bottom line is, depending on the accredited program you take, you may be, for example, exempted from core 1, core 2, as well as the elective modules. That's very, very common. If you take, for example, a master's program, you may be exempted from Capstone 1 also. And in some situations, perhaps even Capstone 2. What exactly you're exempted from depends not only on the university you attend, but the particular program in that university. This PDF will give you a list of universities, and you'll be able to see what am I exempt from depending on the university that I attend. Now, if you want further information on the pathways for becoming a CPA, I've given you the link you can go to in the CPA Canada website. There's a lot of information there. For the prerequisites for the diploma programs, or I should say really accredited programs, some are diploma, some could be master programs. For the prerequisites for these programs, that would depend on each university. So that's not dependent on CPA Canada. That's dependent on the university. Some programs may be more challenging to get into than others. You'd have to look at the specific university that you're considering entering. What I want to talk about now are the advantages of PEP over a diploma or accredited program. You have these 2 paths. Why would I want to do the CPA path versus the accredited path? So, I mean, personally, Ira and I are big fans of the CPA path, and I'll tell you why. And again, it's obviously your decision, but I'll just tell you why we like the CPA path. Number one, it saves you money. It's much less costly. Diploma or accredited programs are far more costly than simply taking PEP and then writing the exams. Bottom line, and then you can always take a prep course to help you get through it. Core 1 cost is the most expensive of the modules, and it's only $1,475. The other modules cost $1,400. So, for example, if you want to just compare that, if I was to go to a diploma program, a non-master's program that exempts me from these four modules, just to give you an example, at TMU, it's around 9,600. At U of T, the diploma program is around 12,000. Master's programs, the master's program at U of T in accounting and finance, $30,000. Whereas to get through the modules, if you do the math, to get through core 1, core 2, and the electives is only 5,675. 1,400 times 3 plus 1,475. So you definitely save a fair amount of money. Number two, the time commitment. The diploma or accredited programs are generally full-time programs, and they may preclude working for a period of time while you're going through the program. The nice thing about PEP is it's designed so you can be doing it while you're working. So in addition to the accredited programs costing more money, there's also a huge opportunity cost because there's a period where you can't be working. Whereas if I do PEP, I can be working throughout the time I'm taking it. So I'm earning money. So that's a huge opportunity cost. That has an even bigger financial impact than the difference in cost between PEP and an accredited program. But quite frankly, it's not just about money. Writing the module exams is very good because it forces you to beef up on your technical. Problem we have found based on anecdotal evidence, so I don't want to lie to you, I haven't done a serious scientific analysis, but we do teach many, many students. And just the anecdotal evidence that we've derived just from speaking with students is that some students who attended accredited programs, whether they were diploma programs or master's programs, they felt that their technical wasn't always adequate for the CP because sometimes there was a gap. Like I remember one woman telling me, my program was pretty good, but management accounting was really bad. Otherwise, it was good. So sometimes, depending on the program you go to, there may be a gap in your technical knowledge. Whereas if you force yourself to write these exams, core 1, core 2, as well as the electives, you're forced to study all the technical that you're going to need in order to get through the CP. Also, there can sometimes be a large time gap between when you do the diploma or accredited program and the CP. For example, some of these diploma programs begin right after you graduate. So they'll begin in May and they'll take you to, let's say, September, but then you won't write the CP until the following September. So now I've really learned a lot of technical, but I have a lot of time to forget my technical, which is not so good. Some programs might end in January, but at the end of the day, there's likely to be, for many of the programs, a large gap between the completion of the program and the CP, leaving you a lot of time to forget your knowledge. If you go through PEP and you start right after you graduate, then you'll write your final elective in the March before the CP. There's going to be a much smaller gap, so hopefully you'll have a lot less time to forget your technical. Finally, and most importantly, the module exams are passable. Yes, if I go to an accredited program, most of them do exempt you from core 1, core 2, and the electives. That would be a fantastic bonus if these exams were super difficult. If these exams, my son's writing the CFA exams right now. If the module exams were like the CFA exams, I would tell everybody to do the accredited program because those are really, really, really hard exams. The module exams are really not terribly difficult. If you're well prepared, there's no reason you won't pass. It's not a walk through the park. It's not a walk in the park. I'm not going to lie to you. You have to study hard, and PASS is there to help you get through these. But the bottom line is they are passable. So is it worth the drawbacks I just mentioned in order to get out of the exams that are in any case passable? I hope you found the video helpful. PASS also has a number of other videos you may want to watch if you haven't watched them already. One video you might find very, very useful is the video we did, description of new CPA education program in 027 and the process of transitioning. In this video, you'll learn about the new modules you're going to need to attend under the new educational system and the new exams you're going to need to write. You'll also learn a little bit about the process of transitioning from the current system to the new system if you're in the middle of the current system when the new system begins. Another very important video is, should I choose the current or new CPA program? If you're just starting out, say for example, you're graduating shortly, let's say spring of 026, and you have the choice of, do I enter the current program or the new program? I think that this video will help you make an informed decision as to whether to write under the current or new CPA program. That's a very, very important career choice, or a very important choice that will impact your career that you're going to need to make, and you want to make sure that you make an informed choice. I think you'll find this video helpful in making that decision. We also have some videos you may want to watch that deal with the current educational system. Number one, overview of the current CPA program and choosing a path that's right for me. So in this video, we'll give you a very high-level review or synopsis of the current education program. And then we'll go through two different pathways that are available under the current program. And we'll discuss, what path it makes sense to take. And that way you can make a good decision if you do choose to go with the current program regarding which pathway you take under the current program from the two pathways available. Another important video, which is again particularly important if you're graduating soon, say again in spring of 026, and that is, how soon do I need to get started if I want to write the CP? Because the bottom line is, those of you who are graduating say, for example, in spring of 026, or you might even be graduating in winter of 026, the bottom line is you have to arrange the timing of the PET modules to make it to the CP in time. The CP is disappearing in 2028. 2028 will be the very last CP. After that, it disappears. So it takes some good planning. If you do want to write the CP and go through the current system, it will take some good planning to make sure you get to the CP in time. And that's what this video will help you do. PASS also has some blogs that you may want to read. One blog is the new CPA education program in 027. This blog provides details regarding the whole process for obtaining your CPA under the new education program. Another blog, which I think you'll find very useful, is Help, I'm in transition, what do I do? What we do in this blog is we deal in extreme detail with what happens if you're in the middle of the current system and you need to transition to the new program that's starting in 027. And what we do here is we go through the whole process of exemptions you're going to get for exams that you wrote under the current system so that you don't have to do the new system from scratch. We also have a blog, should I switch to the new CPA program in 027 or not, pros and cons. In this blog, you'll learn about the pros and cons of the current versus the new CPA program, which again will help you make hopefully a good decision as to which route to take. I've given you a link in case you want to see these blogs. We also have some FAQs. Basically, I'm sure you have many questions that you'd like answered regarding all the changes taking place, right? We're now in a time of great flux. Hopefully you can find the answers to some of these questions by checking out the past FAQs. And as you can see, they're categorized. There are 4 different categories that will be relevant: writing under the current program, writing under the new program in 027, transitioning from the current to new program, and choosing whether to write under the current versus new program in 027. Basically, we've got a number of FAQs under each of these categories. Hopefully, these will help answer questions that you have. Before we leave this video, I just want to spend literally a minute or two just telling you a little bit about PASS and what PASS has to offer. Who is PASS? PASS began offering UFI courses, which was the predecessor to the CFE, back in 1989, and then PASS moved on to offering courses for the CFE when the CFE commenced in 2015. The PASS courses historically have been offered in all of the large firms, as well as mid-sized firms, and the PASS courses are being offered across Canada. Right now, we're offering the PASS course on a national basis for PwC. We also do a small part of the EY program. Um, Michael Levy, which is me, I'm a co-director of PASS along with Ira Wallfish, and I was fortunate enough to win the gold medal when I wrote my UFE. I won't tell you what year, so as not to age myself, but let's just say many years ago. Um, for our courses, we use instructors with professional marketing experience so that when you write mock cases, you get reliable and helpful feedback. And one thing I'm really, really happy to say is that we've had excellent feedback from our students. If you look at the Google reviews or you look at the testimonials on the PASS website, I think you'll see that our reviews have been consistently very, very good. Let me just spend just a very quick moment just talking about what we currently offer under the Current CPA education program. Basically, we have resources and courses for students taking modules. The issue with the modules is they don't generally provide a comprehensive technical review. Anybody who's been through the modules knows that the purpose of the module is not to do a technical review of all the material you'll need to pass the exam. So what we do is at PASS is we provide extensive resources to supplement the module and help the students improve their chances of passing. And as I said, we have materials, we've got courses, we've got videos, basically whatever you like effectively is available. The courses available cover both technical material as well as a chance to write practice cases. You can take a course for an individual module exam, or you can take a package that includes more than one module exam. You can take a package that includes all 4 exams that you're going to have to do, Core 1, Core 2, and the electives. The study materials and videos are also available for either reviewing your technical or improving your case writing. Technical materials includes concise summaries of technical materials, as well as hundreds of multiple choice and other types of objective format questions that you can use to both master the material and get practice for the exam. You can purchase a study binder either with or without videos that covers multiple competencies or an individual competency. You can also acquire practice cases for the module exams. That gives you an edge by giving you the opportunity to write additional cases that are meant to be representative of the case you'll actually, or cases you'll actually write in your module exam. If you're interested in any of what I've just discussed, I've given you links for courses, technical material, and practice cases. We also have resources available for students who aren't going through all of PEP, who are doing accredited programs, because what we found when we spoke to people who've been through accredited programs is they don't always feel adequately prepared for the CP. Even if they don't have to write the module exams, they still have to write the CP. And as a result of that, they often want additional material to help supplement what they did at university. Sometimes there can, for example, be a gap in your university program where a particular technical area wasn't dealt with sufficiently, so people often find it helpful to get supplemental technical material. Also, people find our technical material useful because many of the accredited programs finish many, many months before the student actually writes the CP, and that gives them a lot of time to forget their material. Therefore, they want to do a refresher. They want to review the technical material so they can do well in the exam. And I've given you the link for technical resources that will be helpful to accredited students who have attended an accredited program. We also offer courses for the CFE, basically case writing as well as technical prep. Our main course is the comprehensive course, which covers all the bases you need in terms of case writing for the CFE. There's also a short introductory case writing course that we offer. And we also offer 2 technical courses specific to the CFE, one in financial accounting, one in management accounting, given that these areas are the most heavily tested areas on the CFE. If you're not at the stage of the CFE yet, this will not be of great interest to you, but once you get to that stage, you may want to take a look at this link. The courses we offer are intended to offer maximum flexibility. We offer the courses live online, but we also video all of our classes, and these videos are available 24/7. We make a point of offering our courses outside business hours so that you can be working while you take our courses. We realize that many, many students will be working, and therefore we need to accommodate them. If you have any inquiries relating to the current CPA program or the future program, or you have any questions on decisions you need to make, or you have any questions on what PASS can do to help you, or any questions, period, please feel free to contact me, Michael Levy, or my partner, Ira Wallfish. I've given you our email contact information. I've also given you our phone numbers, which is also our WhatsApp numbers. I really hope that you found this video helpful. Take care. This is a time of major change to the CPA educational system. The current system, including PEP as well as the CFE, will completely disappear after the 2028 CFE. So to make sure that you schedule your modules, keeping in mind the need to get to the CFE before it's gone, I'd strongly recommend that you watch the past video, How Do I Need to Get Started on PEP if I want to write the CFE? I would also strongly suggest that you subscribe to the past channel so you can keep abreast of changes in the CPA educational system as they take place.